Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shanyavadi Ashratra Dishatarine Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shanyavadi Ashratra Dishatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavind Jai Shri Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare विश्वपाद ब्रह्मंस परिव्रजकाचार्य भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ओम विश्वपाद ब्रह्मंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बिंज की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की निताई गौर प्रेमानंद श्री नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री मायापुर धाम की श्री श्री माधव राधा माधव अष्ट सखी की श्री श्री पंचतत्व भगवान की श्री नरसिंहदेव प्रहलाद महाराज की ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाङ्क्षण गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुतदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा सॉरी यू वांट टू गिव और
हरे कृष्णा
टेक दिस
हरे कृष्णा। सो आज हमारे बीच हिज ग्रेस सीताराम प्रभु है जो सीताराम प्रभु सब कैसे बताता हूँ मैं इंट्रोडक्शन थोड़ा सा कि वो बचपन से इस्कॉन के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं थ्रू हिज फैमिली। इन 2002 ही फुल टाइम जॉइंड इस्कॉन एज ब्रह्मचारी एंड देन ही मूव्ड ऑन टू एज अ गृहस्था। उनके अंडर एनआईटी सूरत, वारंगल, देन रायपुर एंड ये इस जगह पे उन्होंने प्रीचिंग चालू किया था, ग्रुप प्रीचिंग। और आप देख सकते हैं कि आज हमारे बीच जो भी आप सब लोग देख रहे हैं, जो भी मेरे सीनियर्स है, हमारा ग्रुप है, ये सब सीताराम प्रभु के इंस्पिरेशन के अंडर इस्कॉन के साथ जुड़े हैं, कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में जुड़े हैं। और अभी सीताराम प्रभु बहुत सारे मैनेजमेंट पोजीशन हेड करते हैं, जैसे कि जुरू का काउंसिल मेंबर हो, इस बाद में इस्कॉन भिवंडी, इस्कॉन अत्तापुर, हैदराबाद के को प्रेसिडेंट है। तो बहुत सारे मैनेजर पोजीशन पे सीताराम प्रभु है। प्लस इतना यूथ प्रीचिंग आप देख रहे हो, ये उनके गाइडेंस के अंडर चल रहा है। ट्रैवलिंग संकीर्तन बस पार्टी जो हमारा किताबों का वितरण होता है, वो भी उनके गाइडेंस के अंदर चल रहा है। सो हमारा बहुत सौभाग्य है यहाँ पे कि ही इज़ हियर एंड ही इज़ गाइडिंग अस। ही विल गिव फ्यू लेक्चर्स इन कमिंग 7 days also. So let's welcome Sitaram Prabhu by once loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा। So you all are very, very fortunate to come to this special place, Shri Mayapur Dham. This is a very, our Srila Prabhupada who formed ISKCON, he told that actually Shri Mayapur Dham is the spiritual capital of the whole world. Spiritual capital of the whole world. Because anyone who will come here, his heart will be stolen by the Lord. Like in college days, you say, "No, my heart got stolen." But when you come and see Mayapur, as soon as my experience was like this. As soon as I entered the temple and I saw Radha Madhav and the Ashta Sakhis. When I entered, Panchatattva was not there. So Radha Madhav and Ashta Sakhis, when you see the beauty, their smiling faces, their mood, and you just get stolen. No, nobody can just see and just go away. Isn't it true? When you look at them, it's like, oh, there is something like this in this world. Isn't it true? How many of you experience this? When you go inside, "Arey baap re, ye kya hai?" You know. Otherwise, you know, if you go to, you know, Dwaraka, Tirupati, Pandharpur, just take darshan, you're pushed out. Chala, 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 chala. Isn't it true? You just moved out. Isn't it true? As I told, every time I tell, when I went to Tirupati for the first time, I don't even remember if I took darshan. Because I went there, I was a small boy, I was just pushed out. Where is Balaji? I said, "Ho gaya darshan, chalo." But Srila Prabhupada established his temples in such a way that people don't have anxiety to take darshan. They can just heartfully look at the Lord and His beauty. Look at the Lord and His beauty. And this beauty, which is here in Mayapur Dham, is very special. How many of you took darshan how many have already taken darshan? How many devotees took darshan yet? Oh, many are yet to take darshan? Oh, surprise. So when you see the Lord, then you will realize what I am trying to say. When you take the darshan, you will understand. So we all have to, I understand that all of you, how many of you chanting more than 6 months? How many of you are regularly chanting on the beads? How many of you are regularly chanting? कौन जप करता है daily? Okay, very nice. So, how many of you are comfortable with English? Should I speak in Hindi also, or English is okay with everyone? Okay. So, someone needs Hindi translation? So, those devotees who want to hear the Hindi translation can go and sit there. Achintya Prabhu's doing Hindi. Huh? Ananda Achintya Prabhu. He is doing Hindi translation. Don't have peer pressure. Those who cannot understand, they can go peacefully. And so, I was mentioning that it is said that, Bharat Bhumi to hoilo janma yar, janma sartaki karo, paro upakar. There's one verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bharat Bhumi to hoilo janma, yar janma sartaki kari karo paro upakar. It says, people who are born in this part of the earth, Bharat, hoilo janma. Janma means? Janma yar. Janma sartaka, perfect your life. Karo paro upakar, help others to perfect their lives. So what does that mean? It means that human life is very special. Human life is very, very special. And those who have human birth, it has a purpose. Isn't it true? It has a purpose. For example, if I say, what is the goal of life? If I ask you. So every individual will have some goal. Someone will say, I want to become an engineer. Someone will say, I want to become a doctor. Someone will say, I want to graduate. Someone will say, I'm still figuring out. Someone will say, I'm going to join my father's business. Bhiwandi fellows may say, Vatao ka nanda karu. Vatao is still there in Bhiwandi. Check Vatao. Huh? Who's there from Bhiwandi? कौन बोला है अभी भी आता है ठीक है. So someone will say, everyone will, or someone will say family occupation. But if I ask you, what is the goal of human life? What is the goal of human life, right? If all, then it has to be one, because we all are human beings, correct? That cannot be different. If I say goal of life, then everyone will have his own thing. But when I say what is the goal of human form of life, then it has to be one. And that is what is gifted here in this part of the earth. Bharat bhumi to hailo jaya janma yar janma sarthak kari paro pukar. It is said that this part of the earth is considered the most pure and very, very special part. This is the place a human can rise himself to the perfection of life. Go beyond, me and my. Think of the high consciousness. Beyond means, when we say beyond in Prabhupada's teaching, it means eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Eating, sleeping, mating and Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think the mic's battery. You have to give a battery here. It means beyond, here. It's dead here. So it means going beyond eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Because unfortunately today humanity is only understood by perfecting these four things. And thanks to the British education system, which actually left us with this only knowledge, which is related to matter. अच्छा खाने को मिलना चाहिए, अच्छा सोने को मिलना चाहिए, अच्छी बीवी चाहिए और बहुत सारा पैसा. Isn't it true? That's the whole civilization, That's the whole civilization, current modern civilization. But human life is not about it. And to discriminate this is perfection. If you can understand this, then actually you are. There's one, I remember one devotee was telling that when one inquires, about higher values, that's when he starts. That's when he starts actually showing the symptoms of being a human being. In fact, in Quran, in some of the Maulanas, they say that जब तक आदमी कुरान पढ़ना नहीं शुरू करता तब तक वो पशु है. जब वो कुरान पढ़ता है तब से वो मनुष्य बनने लग जाता है. If you've not been introduced to the scriptures, bona fide Vedic scriptures, till then actually you are just an animal, because that's what an animal does. What does an animal do? If a dog will get up in the morning, the first thing it will do is it will find a food to eat, and they will find out other dogs are around, then they will fight and get their food, right? After they are done with the food, then they will find for a she-dog, right? And then to have the she-dog also, he has to fight them and defend each other. Isn't it true? With the teeth. And then after that he will sleep. Correct? Isn't it true? And every species is doing that. I just gave an example of a dog, but every species is doing this activity. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. But even human beings are busy with the same thing. But there is something special. What is that special? We have a Dunlop pillow or sleep well mattress to sleep, which a dog doesn't have. Isn't it true? We mate in a closed door and the dogs mate in the street. And we defend with our hands, skirts, missiles, bank balance. Isn't it true? We defend with that, and they have their nails and teeth, they will fight and defend themselves, right? Eating, and we sleep, they sleep. We eat in a plate, things will be nicely decorated, hot chapatis will come while you are eating. The dogs will not have that facility, but ultimately they will be also doing what? The activity is the same, correct or not? The activity is the same, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Maybe we are doing it professionally, that's it. Does that make human beings special? Does that make human beings special? No, it does not. If that makes special, then there are so many people who are nowadays even dressing up their dogs, making the dog sleeps in their house. Isn't it true? So that's not so special. What is special is when one thinks beyond this. When one thinks beyond this. And for that, the most basic thing is to know yourself. What is that? To know yourself, to know God, to know about your relationship with God, and then to know why are you around here, you know, and what is this human birth all about. The first most important thing is to know yourself is very largely missing in the human society. And Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example, and he narrates this in many of his lectures. He says it's so easy to know yourself. He says when you see a dead body, how many of you seen a dead body? All of you must have seen a dead body, right? So what is the difference between a dead body and a living body? What? Soul, right? So suppose if the Prabhupada says, in one of the lectures, that when someone dies, people cry so much, but they don't cry for the body, they cry for the pure soul which is gone. If they cry too much, if you keep the body, no, they are crying so much, let us give them their body back and let us go away. Will people keep that body, dead body? Have you seen anyone keeping the dead body, decorating it every day, offering puja to it? No. If you leave the dead body, people will call the municipality and tell them, take away this body, Baba, it's stinking now. Correct? So that's not we. The real person is the soul. When soul leaves this body, the body has no value. And we are actually living a life totally centered around thinking that we are body. Thinking that we are body. Everyone thinks that we are this body, we are going to be perfectly living here, we are going to make a lot of money, and then we are going to die. While we die, we will pack up everything in one briefcase and take it to the next life. Isn't it true? People live like that in this world. They live as if they are going to have a package, and this package is going to be eternal, and then when they leave this body, they are going to put everything in a briefcase and take it to the Smashan Bhumi, and it burns with you and goes with you then again into the next life. Has it happened like that? No, you are left here. In fact, when you leave the body, they chant at that time. What do they chant? Huh? क्या है? केवल राम का नाम ही सत्य है. That means the holy name of the Lord is truth. Everything else is fellow is living here and going. And it is for whom? Whom are they chanting for, you know? Do you know? No other blind fellows who are sitting there. The other who are blind sitting there, I am the body and I am going to perfect my life and take everything with me. For them they are telling, अरे मूर्खो समझो अभी तो राम का नाम ही केवल सत्य है. That is what they chant. Ram ka naam satya hai. Nobody understands it. So that is for the first thing. And surprisingly, Prabhupada used to question that the whole society, which means the community we are born in, the house we are born in, is a society. It also includes the institution, the education society, the friends, the family we live with. The society together has not educated us about our real self. Is it true or not? Tell me. The society together has not educated us about our real self. And then we think we are body and everything which is around us belongs to us and for our enjoyment. Correct? That's how we grow, right? That is how we grow. That everything around us belongs to us. That's another biggest false, When we think I am this body, that itself is false. And then along with this comes the gross and the subtle body. The soul has a gross and the subtle body. All of you know this? How many of you don't know this? The soul has a gross and a subtle body. What is the gross and the subtle body? The gross body is the body which is visible. Hands, legs, stomach. You can see that, right? All of you agree that you have a gross body? Nobody is sitting here only with the subtle body, no? Anybody here with a subtle body? Everyone is having gross body. Now, the subtle body is what? Anybody knows what is a subtle body? Huh? Very good. What's your name? Madhav. Nice name. So, mind, intelligence and false ego, which we cannot see. Can we see? No. Mind, intelligence and false ego. So, we have the subtle body. Now, within the subtle body is the mind, and then comes the ego and intelligence. So now, this ego is a very, very important aspect to understand, to know. Why? Because it is the false ego due to which the soul suffers in the material world. This, I am great, I will do this, I am number one, I am the best. This is the false ego. One thing is false identification that I am this body, and then second thing is I am the greatest. This is the tendency of everyone in this material world. I always give this example. For example, if you have a sports 500-meter race running, have you done sports in your schools? You done, right? How many of you go for the sports and they say, what do they say? Any marks? What is it? I forgot. Get set, go! Right? You know that, no? And you run. So when you do that, even if you will do that, every single student in the sports, when this starts, any marks, get set, go. Any one of you, when you were in the sports, did you ever think that I will come at least 5th? I will come at least 6th? Anyone thought like this? What everyone thinks? I will come first. This is just a sports, but this is the whole life's game. This is the whole life's game. But the problem is, in every single aspect, how many people can come number one? Only one. I was telling about the false ego. That's where the ego comes, the false ego. Then from there you lead to envy. Then you lead to greed. Then you lead to pride. And this world is suffering with all these things. That's called the false ego. All of you agree with this? All of you agree with this? False ego. So we struggle with these things. We struggle with these things, This is, even to understand this requires a little intelligence. Intelligence doesn't mean, I always say, intelligence doesn't mean to know the capital of every country or every state. That is called memorizing. That's called memory. Ratta marna. Intelligence means that you understand these things. You are able to relate to it. You're able to relate. This is actually elevating yourself to the human being. Now, to explain this, especially in India, because of so much of social pressure and so much of attachments on the false identification and family, society. All of you come from some samaj. Some samaj, no? Samaj, you know. Some samaj, then samaj extended, that's called extended attachment. Then comes the, one religion has so many religions. Correct, no? Gujarati mein Kathiawadi hoga, Sunar hoga, Sutar hoga, Bangi hoga, sir, right? Then same thing is, so all these things are becoming further discrimination, you know. And then we all, when we rise from that, then one state, then one nation. And there's no end to all these things. There's no end to all these things. And we just grow. So these are the certain things we can understand. But today, because of so much bombardment of, social media, and for this, as I said, material education. Material education means the education which doesn't speak about soul, which doesn't speak about God, which only tells you, my son, get up, become very qualified. When you complete your education, by then you will lose your 1/4 of your life. You will be almost 20, 24, and you will have a piece of paper in your hand. And then you can go to tell everyone and beg them, look, I have a piece of paper here, and I'm a very nice person. Please accept me in your company and give me a job. You know, give me a job. That's it. That's life all about. Nothing beyond this. You know, sir, आप देखिए मैं ईमानदार आदमी हूँ, बट आपके काम का हो, रख लो मुझे. आपके काम का हो, रख लो मुझे. आपके काम का हो, रख लो मुझे. That's how it comes in. That's life all about. And when one has been brought up with this, it is so difficult. It is so difficult. The reason I'm telling you is, to understand spiritual subject, one has to rise. It is so ignorance now. Today when you want to preach to the youth, there is only 2-3 things which they understand. One is that one has to earn money. Second, sex is important. Third, girlfriend. Fourth, drugs, alcohol. That is enjoyment. I mean, it is degraded. It's like almost like a pig's life, you know. Pig's life. And you have to uplift today the youths from there. You understand? Youth, you have to uplift. It's like gutter के अंदर हाथ डाल के हिलाओ उनको ऊपर लगा, भाई तुम मनुष्य हो. You are a human being, man. It's like such a big degradation. Such a big degradation. You know. Whereas in the Vedic time, it's not like when we say that woman, girlfriend, sex, we're not against sex life. It's just a matter how it is introduced to the human beings. In this part of the world, which is India, there is marriages. There's marriages, you know. What is a marriage? Everyone knows. I told you in one of the class, I think somewhere. What is a marriage? Marriage, everyone knows that a girl and a boy is getting married. What are they going to do? They're going to produce children. Correct? Which means they will have sex. Which means they will have sex. But how is it approached? It's not approached like a cat and dog. How many of you have seen a marriage in human beings like a dog, you know? 5 dogs are there. One fellow comes in the horse and fights with the 5 dogs, and finally the she-dog is his. Have you seen humans getting married like this? No, it's not like that. 2 families will come together. Communities will come together. Isn't it true? Then they will see the astrology. And then they will see auspicious moment for the marriage. Then after that they will invite the families. They will invite guests. Isn't it true? Have you seen marriage means inviting people is a compulsory? How many of you seen that? Everyone, right? Have you seen it's our marriage, we should not let anyone know, we should get them married? Have you seen a marriage like this in the family? Why? Why? Ultimately they're going to have sex and produce children. Why all these things? Because this is the Vedic culture. This is the life of a person who understands culture. A human being who understands God, His teachings. For him, life doesn't mean like a dog or a cat, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. No, it's beyond that. It's creating auspiciousness in this life. You understand auspiciousness? Nowadays, this festival also become completely dead, no? Ganapati means playing movie songs. It was never there 50 years ago. It was never there. There's no, even approaching God has no spirituality left, you know. Festivals, even approaching festivals has no spirituality left. It's become a show business now. People will say, hey, holidays coming, take a package, go to a hill station. Nowadays, like that. So why all these things are there? No? I was telling that we invite people for the marriage because they will all come and bless. Isn't it true? Bless, to seek blessings of the elders for an progression in human life. So one who understands these things is actually a human being. Then beyond that, I was hearing to Srila Prabhupada's lecture. He was so powerfully telling that, problem. A human being should identify what is a problem. Problem means birth, old age, disease and death. Why we should suffer with this thing? First thing, we should know them. These are problems, If I tell what is a problem, someone will say, sir, mere pitaji ka bahut loan hai, sir, my education loan hai. Everyone will have their own problems. When you talk of the problem of human form, it's birth. Have you seen a child appearing in this world smiling, laughing, with a flag in the hand? Here I am, here I am. Have you seen? No. How does he appear in this world? Crying. So there's a problem, no? That's why he's crying. And have you seen a person getting old and happy? No. Second biggest industry in this world is cosmetics. Because Matajis don't want to get old. Second biggest industry is cosmetics. Because Matajis don't want to get old. Nobody wants to get old. And anyone, have you seen anyone celebrating for having some disease? Have you seen? Hey, I got malaria, there's a feast come. No. And forget about death. I was early days, when I was young, when actually you become a new devotee, you become very, very enthusiastic to preach others. That, hey, you will die, birth, old age, disease there, temporary material world, I remember one boy was there, so we introduced him to Krishna consciousness, and there was a holiday in Surat, and he went home and he started preaching his father. हम लोग सब नरक में जाने वाले हैं, ये करने वाले हैं, दे धपा धप father beat him right, left and center, na? Father did not tell him first day, second day, third day. When he entered his bedroom, father came inside, andar se kachak kach, locked the door. Father took him. So then he called me, Prabhuji, this happened, that happened. I said, hey, fool. I said, why? The biggest mistake one will do is to preach his own family and friends. Never do that. They will never understand. Isn't it true? You come to ISKCON, they will say, ISKCON wale ne usko pagal kar diya. First thing they will say, correct? How many of you agree with this? I see almost everyone. ISKCON wale ne usko pagal kar diya. In log ne unko brainwash kar diya hai. Brainwash kar diya. So reason I was telling you all these things is it is the truth. It is the truth. So in this, as I was telling that Prabhupada said this is the spiritual capital of the world. So we are here at the land of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is, it's a very simple explanation. We all know Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. We all know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but now he has come in the form of his own devotee. Krishna himself in the form of his own devotee. In the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says Arjuna, there's one famous verse, Sarva Dharman Paritejaya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Sarva Dharman Paritejaya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So it is said that in conclusion, Lord Krishna spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita, which is later, transcribed into 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. In conclusion of the 18th chapter, Krishna says, if you have not understood everything also, still what you can do is sarva dharman paritrajaya. He said, give up all form of religion and dharmas. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Take shelter of me. Aham tvam sarve pape bhyo moksha shami ma shicha. He said, yeah, accept shelter of mine and I will relieve you from all your sinful activities. Please don't worry, ma sucha. Don't be fearful. Don't worry, ma sucha. I will take care of everything else. So this was a conclusion of Krishna to Arjuna. But then, Mamekam Sharanam is a very important thing. Why? To take shelter. Understand? To take shelter. It is something which has to happen by love. Correct or not? Can you take shelter of someone with force? Can you? No, you cannot. Nobody takes a shelter. One may take shelter by force, but it is not from heart. It is from force. So that is not the ideal relationship. That is not ideal relationship. So Krishna's kindness, His magnanimity, His mercy is actually understood when He appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our scriptures, they explain there are many pastimes of the Lord in the scriptures. Many pastimes of the Lord. So I like to mention, some of this special pastimes wherein you understand the Lord, His emotions and His devotees. So it is mentioned, if you take darshan of Lord Narasimhadev, right below on the left side of Lord Narasimhadev is a beautiful deity, small. Have you noticed that? Who is that? Prahlad Maharaj. You all know the story of Narasimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. So then, the narration is very simple, that Prahlad was harassed by his demonic father named Hiranyakashipu. To protect him, Lord Narasimhadev appeared and he killed Hiranyakashipu. After he killed Hiranyakashipu, he was very angry. Narasimhadev was very angry. And it is mentioned in the scriptures that as if annihilation. You heard the name Pralay. We used to discuss in our childhood, Shiv ji apni tisri aankh khol denge to sab. In our school days we used to fight with the Muslim boys, nahin, Bhagwan Shiva sabse bade, tisri aankh kholenge sabko khatam ho jayega. Annihilation is called. Annihilation. So, in what connection I was telling this? Yeah. The demigods and everyone in this planet, they felt that, everything is going to be finished now. Because Lord Narasimhadev was so angry, so ferocious. So demigods went to Brahma. And Brahma saw Lord Narasimhadev and he stepped back. He said, no, I cannot go. Then they went to Lakshmi, who was the wife of Lord Narasimha. So they went and requested Lakshmi, you please go and pacify your Prabhu. You go and pacify your Prabhu. Lakshmi saw Narasimhadev and she ran away from there. Then after the demigods told Prahlad, please go. You please go and the Lord has appeared to protect you. You please go and pacify the Lord. So then Prahlad went, put a garland to the Lord and poured obeisances. Some of our acharyas, they said that the head of Prahlad touched the feet of Lord Narasimha. And as soon as Prahlad's head touched Lord Narasimha's feet, Lord Narasimha calmed down completely calmed down. And then he took Prahlad on his lap. And just like a lion licks its cub, Lord Narasimha started licking Prahlad like a cub, with love and with affection. In this pastime, our acharyas share with us very deeper feelings of the Lord, feelings of God, See, this is beauty, that in Bharat Bhumi you can understand God, His feelings. So Lord Narasimhadev observed Prahlad and he saw that Prahlad is so great devotee and so selfless, so fearless and so much affectionate. Along with that, one more thing Lord saw. What is that? He saw that I am very happy with the pure devotion of Prahlad. But Prahlad appears to be more happy than me. What did the Lord say? Prahlad is more happy. So Lord is happy by the devotion of Prahlad. But Prahlad is more happy by being a devotee of the Lord. You understand my point? Being a devotee of the Lord, who was more happy? Prahlad. So this was left in the heart of the Lord. Then in the later, the Lord's incarnations, we know when Lord came as Lord Rama. So in the pastimes of Lord Rama also, we read and we also have seen in cartoons and even Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana. If you've seen that as a child, you see that such strong emotions are shared in that. When it is described in Ramayana that when Lord Ramachandra wanted to leave, was actually told to leave Ayodhya, it is said that not only the human beings of Ayodhya were depressed, the bird, the beast, the horses, the camels, the elephants, all were crying and weeping when the Lord was leaving. And further, we know how Lakshman requests Lord Rama to accept him as a servant in the journey. When Lakshman goes to Sumitra, his mother, to take permission, because Lord Rama tells him that no, you have to go and ask your mother to come with me. When he goes to his mother, the mother says that I will consider my body to be auspicious because you are ready to sacrifice anything to serve Lord Rama. Actually, your birth is to only serve Rama, and she sends him like this. Mother Sita sacrifices. It is said that Mother Sita has never kept his feet on the rock or a sand or a hot, sunny day. She was a princess, always on a chariot, and she walked barefoot with Lord Rama. And it just goes on. Bharat was told that you will become the king. Just like someone flushes the stool and never sees back. That's how Bharat just gives up the thought only. He said, "Thu," he said. He says his mother, "Thu, how can you think that Bharat can accept the kingdom? Ram is only the king, will be the king, is the king, and will always remain the king of Ayodhya and everyone's heart." And rejects the kingdom. And what to speak about later than Sugriva and Hanuman. In fact, when Lord Ramachandra comes back, Mother Sita, he comes back with Sugriva, Jambavan, and also Hanuman, comes back to Ayodhya. So when when Lord Rama is put on the throne of Ayodhya, Mother Sita is sitting, and there is a whole discussion that how they decide to honor all the brothers and all the friends who have come. So they gift Sugriva, Jambavan, everyone they actually glorify them and give gifts. So when it comes to Hanuman, Lord Ramachandra, we know this pastime, Mother Sita gives the necklace. We know this famous pastime. But when it comes to Ramachandra to give something to Hanuman, Lord Rama says that he has tears looking at Hanuman. Because there is such a big description how Hanuman bring a brahmachari, he went to Lanka. Went into the chambers where naked women were sleeping. There he was searching for Mother Sita. Did not get disturbed, moved ahead. So many pastimes are there of Hanuman like this. So when it came to Hanuman, Lord Rama had tears in his eyes. He said that I have nothing in my possession to gift Hanuman. What does he say? I, in my God, you understand? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, he is telling Hanuman that to Hanuman, I don't possess anything in my possession which I can give to Hanuman. So that is why I can offer myself to Hanuman. He embraces Hanuman and Hanuman embraces Lord Rama and they cry. So Lord Rama was very happy. Now comes the climax. The climax is the same Lord Narasimhadev had. Lord Rama was so happy to see his devotees selflessly giving up everything to please him. That is the nature of giving actually. There is a nature of giving. But Lord Rama said that all my devotees are more happy than me by being my devotees. By being all my devotees are more happy by being my devotees. This is what even Lord Ramachandra felt. Lord Ramachandra felt. Then it comes to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. They are very, very special. Very, very, very special. Especially in Vrindavan, Braja Leelas. So in Vrindavan also, Krishna grew up as a baby there and he would steal butter. Famous pastimes of Lord Krishna. And he was so naughty, but the darling of everyone. Everyone loved Krishna so much. It is said that in Vrindavan, every mother would look at her own baby and Krishna and think if they are feeding the breast milk to the child, they will look at Krishna and think, when will I feed my milk to Krishna? Even the cows, when they are feeding their own calves, when they would see Krishna, they would think in their minds that, oh, when will I get opportunity to feed my milk to Krishna? This desire was fulfilled in Brahma Vimohan Leela. How many of you know Brahma Vimohan Leela? Brahma steals the calves and the cowherd boys. And then for 1 year, who becomes the calf and the cowherd boy? Krishna. So like that, there are so many pastimes. But even in this, when Krishna, we know Krishna used to steal butter. So when Krishna used to steal butter, one day all the elderly gopis, they all decided that maybe Mother Yashoda, she is actually not giving him Krishna the good quality of the butter. She is a Vaishya, so maybe she is keeping the good ones for the sale and the normal ones to feed him. That's why Krishna steals. So let us do one thing, let us voluntarily offer the good quality butter to him so that he is happy. He is the darling of our Vrindavan. Let's give him. So all the gopis together design, keep a clear fried, very nice tasty butter, few pots, and they make it, keep it for Krishna. And they call Krishna. Krishna goes in the morning, goes out to play in the Yamuna, and they say, Lala, come here. Said, here is the butter for you. We all want to honorably today feed you the best quality of butter. We have preserved, all of us together preserved it for you. And Krishna looked at that and his face goes red, angry, and looks with crazily, looks at them, stares at them, and then looks at them with a very serious voice. He says, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think I'm a beggar? Do you think I don't have butter at my home? Do you know whose son I am? I'm the son of Nanda Baba, the king of Vrindavan. Get out from here and take your butter and get lost from here. The gopis go mad. I said, this rascal comes and steals butter. And voluntarily we are offering, is having so much ego. And when Krishna talks like this, they get angry. And after a while Krishna is going angrily, their hearts melt looking at him. Their hearts melt looking at him. One day Mother Yashoda has a complaint from the gopis that we are fed up of Krishna. We are actually hiding our butter from him. But you see, When he comes, somehow or other reaches out to her house, jumps from the window, somehow or other he makes his way out where the butter is. But even if we hide the butter, dark place in a height, he has a very beautiful effulgence of his body. You understand effulgence? Some glow in his body. And that hits one of his necklace of diamond. That hits another necklace. That hits all over the pearls and diamonds in his body. And it lights up the whole room. And he finds out the butter and he eats the butter. Not only that, he'll feed his friends. Not only that, then what is left, he'll feed the monkeys. Not only that, after the monkeys have eaten sufficient and there is still butter left, he will break the butter and say it is such a useless butter, now even monkeys don't want to eat. And he goes away from there. We are fed up of him. So Mother Yashoda says, okay, fine. Let's make a deal. I will not put any jewelry to him anymore. And that will save your butter. When Mother Yashoda tells this, immediately our acharyas explain that the gopis, they start thinking Krishna is coming out of his house without his beautiful earrings, without his ankle bells, without his necklace, without his other necklaces, diamond belt, his vest, what we call the vest belt. Without all these things, we will not feel happy to see Krishna like this. And then they stop Mother Yashoda. Maya, please stop. Forget it, leave it. Let Krishna be how he is. We will not bother you. And they go away. So they cannot see Krishna without his beauty. This much they love Krishna in Vrindavan. And what to speak about our acharyas, they explain that this is one of my favorite pastimes. Innumerables I have spoken this. But when Krishna leaves Vrindavan and he goes to Dwarka, he kills Kamsa, you know that? He goes to Mathura, he kills Kamsa, and then he goes to Dwarika. So one day from Dwarka he sends Uddhava. He sends Uddhava where? He sends Uddhava to Vrindavan. He sends him to Vrindavan. And he tells him to go and pacify the devotees of Vrindavan. That, I will be coming back very soon. So I will tell this pastime in one of the days. But when Uddhava reaches there, he understands that, oh, these devotees of Krishna are mad about him. When Uddhava goes back to Krishna, he tells him that, I have one request. You make me a grass in Vrindavan, so that these devotees of Vrindavan, when they walk, some dust of their feet will fall on my head, and actually I can become a devotee like them. That is what my request is. So in conclusion to this, even the devotees of Vrindavan were so dear, and Krishna, when he saw the devotees of Vrindavan love him so much so that he himself developed the desire. What is that desire? The desire to experience what is devotees experience. To experience what? What is devotees experience. Coming back to the verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajaya Mam Ekam Sharanam Bhaja. So, in conclusion, Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita that give up everything, surrender unto me. So Krishna, after speaking this, what did he think? He thought that though I have spoken the Bhagavad Gita and in conclusion I have mentioned everyone what to do to surrender unto me, but still the people are not able to follow that. And then there was one more desire of the Lord. What was that desire? To experience what my devotees experience. The Krishna clubs these two things. One thing, he decides that let me go. First he thinks that they have to follow and they have to surrender. So how will they surrender? Krishna decides, okay, fine. I will go as my own devotee and teach them how to surrender to me. And while doing that, I will become my own devotee and experience what my devotees experience. And that devotee, who Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared here in Sri Mayapur Dham. This is the place where the greatest desire of the Supreme Lord was fulfilled. And this is very deep. It is very, very deep. One has to really rise to a platform. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appears, he comes with a very, very magnanimous mood. All merciful. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he is extraordinarily merciful. No discrimination. That is why, to come to a conclusion, this is one of the reasons that actually we could understand this philosophy. One who has the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can only understand that actually I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Human form of life is a very rare life. He can understand God. He can have the discrimination between a human and an animal, a variety of human birth. This is all the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is very merciful. Merciful for that he doesn't see that who's qualified, who's not qualified. That is why it is said it is the age. This is Kali Yuga, right? Kali Yuga is a place where it is said that as soon as you get up in the morning and if you see yourself that you are in Kali Yuga, this Yuga is Kali. So it is said that here everyone is fighting. Everyone is envious, quarreling, duplicitous, greedy. This is the Kali year. Isn't it true? So when you see yourself in this Kali Yuga, you can conclude that you are a sinful person. Only sinful people take birth in Kali Yuga. Who? Papi log ka janam Kali Yuga mein hota hai. But when you come across Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in that Kali Yuga, it is said it is called Golden Kali, Swarna Kali, Dhanya Kali. It is the age where one can actually perfect his life in performing Sankirtan. What is the way which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives his mercy? It is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Just by chanting this holy name, you get the mercy of Lord Krishna. You get devotion, pure devotion. Bhakti. Bhakti means love to Krishna. Just by chanting Hare Krishna. By being merciful upon the living entities. He appears with his associates. His holy Dham. Just like if you go to, do you know in every country there is an embassy of another country? Like you have US embassy. US embassy is in Mumbai. Let's take an example. It is in Mumbai, but you know inside the US embassy which rule functions? US rules. Similarly, this Mayapur Dham, all these holy places, they may appear to be in the material world, but they are expansion of the spiritual world. There's this beautiful verse which comes in Chaitanya Bhagavat, I think. It explains how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. You can actually sing with me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Sapashada Sadama Sa-avatari Sapashada Sadama Saha-avatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema करिबारे दाना अत्यंत दुर्लभ प्रेमा करिबारे दाना शिखाइब शरणागति भक्तेर प्राण शिखाइब शरणागति भक्तेर प्राण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवे दया करी स पार्षद स धाम स अवतरी. So simple it is to learn. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiva. Jiva means the living entity. Jivera daya kari. Being very kind and merciful at the living entity. Sa Parshad. Sa Parshad means, you understand Parshad? Army, associates. Sahadhama. Sahadham, Saha. His own abode. Mayapur Dham. Navadip Dham. Saha Avati, himself appeared. Atyanta Durlava Prema. Understood my word? Prema means love. So I was explaining the love which Prahlad has, the love which Lord Ramachandra's devotees Sita Devi, Lakshman, Hanuman, Sugriva has, the love which Nand Baba, Mother Yashoda, the gopis of Vrindavan have. That love, so Parsha. Jive daya kari, atyanta durlabha prema, karibare dan. You understand dan? Dan samajh mein aata hai? He is giving that pure and rarest devotion as donation, as dan to everyone. Sikhaiba sharanagati. Bhakatera prana. He himself as a devotee teaches everyone how to perform devotion, which is the life of all the devotees. So you see in the temple, if you go, you will see in the center Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raising his hands. And it is said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful, he is raising his hands and calling everyone, come, come to me, I am ready to accept you. I am ready to embrace you. Come to me, he is calling. And on the left side of him, or when you see from that, when you take darshan on the left side of him, is Nityananda Prabhu, who is not different from Balram, who has also come to assist him. He is standing like this and telling everyone, please come and take shelter of Lord Chaitanya. Then we have Gadadhar Pandit. He also is telling us to take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then we have Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, Sadashiv. He is also appeared to, help the Lord in this Sankirtan mission. It is said Gadadhar Pandit is not different than Srimati Radharani. And Srivas Thakur, who's on the extreme right, folding hats. He is the expansion of Narada Muni. Who's the expansion of Narada Muni. And he is requesting everyone folding hands. Please take my request, accept my request, and take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. Sa Parshad. Sa Parshad, Sadam, Sa Avatari. Along with his associate, he has appeared in Navadip. And just from here, the flood of Sankirtan. Sankirtan means the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And it has the vaccine of Prema. Nowadays vaccine is very famous, no? It is injected, right? Similarly, the holy name is injected with love of devotion. And it floods around the whole world from Navadip. And wherever it is chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Indiscriminately devotion flows there. This is the main reason for us to be in Mayapur. All of you have actually come in contact with devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is actually made your life so auspicious that you could come to this holy Dham and have darshan of Panchatattva. So it is my request to all of you, those who have not taken darshan, you can go now to take darshan, but take this journey very seriously, chant your rounds. There is one, do you know when there is a sale, you understand? Bumper sale, it comes, no? On our smartphone. Suddenly, thunder, stars will come, you see? Bumper sale, what does it mean? You can get more by paying less. So similarly, when you come to Holy Dham, you have a bumper sale of bhakti. You have a bumper sale of bhakti. One round chanted here seriously will get you the benefit of chanting thousands of rounds outside the Dham. One obeisance is here. Obeisance is, it is actually said Mayapur Dham is so merciful, when you sleep in the night and you get up in the morning, from the point you sleep till the time you get up, you can note it, how many hours you are sleeping. That many hours you get the benefit of doing pranam. Seriously, you will realize it after you go out of this Dham. You will realize what you have become. So this is such a special place. Everything is very Audharya. It is called Audharya Dham. Magnanimous, very, very extraordinary, merciful Dham. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you very much for, I want to thank all of you for taking out time and coming to Mayapur Dham in association of devotees. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Panchatattva ki, Sri Radha Madhava Saki ki, Sri Narasimha Bhagwan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.